The next topic is on safety. You guys see on the topic. There you go. Yeah.
Can Safeway slam the door shut on shoplifters? Photo, Getty Images / Sweet Baby.
Let's get that.
As a number of major U.S. cities continue to grapple with the problem of violent, orchestrated retail theft, San Francisco retailers have in take decisive action, and I doubt that these measures will deter legitimate shoppers. Kathy Hotka Principal, Kathy Hotka and Associates. Safeway's actions may not deter all shoplifter theft, but they do make Safeway. Safeway in San Francisco is rolling out restrictive solutions it hopes will stop the shoplifting mobs. Customers entering one Safeway location near San Francisco's Castro district are now greeted with metal gates that swing shut and lock behind them, preventing anyone from making a break for it with a shopping cart full of items, according to the San Francisco Chronicle. The self-checkout area is now surrounded by barriers to direct customers through a single exit. Unstaffed checkouts are blocked off with metal barriers and the side entrance to the store is entirely blocked off. The measures have not gone unnoticed by customers, with one overheard by the Chronicle describing the store location as getting weirder and weirder. Others interviewed said they did not have concerns about the changes, saying they made things seem more organized and did not impede the shopping experience. Put the whole store in their hand. Data logic. Mobility drives value. Data logic. Safeway's enhanced security measures come in the wake of an explosion in brazen, flash mob-style shoplifting. The week of Thanksgiving, locations of Nordstrom, Lululemon, Louis Vuitton, Bloomingdale's, Burberry and Neiman Marcus in major markets were all targeted and ransacked by organized mobs of shoplifters. A less desirable place to Target. Steve Montgomery, President, B2B Solutions, LLC. I firmly believe that leveraging technology is a better answer than installing barriers and making a store into a fortress to keep people in. Ken Morris, Managing Partner, Cambridge Retail Advisors. Even before the high-profile spate of holiday incidents, some retailers had begun making changes to their operations in some markets in response to this type of crime. Walgreens, for instance, closed 5 San Francisco locations due to an unsustainable rate of theft. Best Buy recently said that a high rate of organized shoplifting was putting pressure on its bottom line, according to Axios. The chain is experiencing a nationwide problem, but pointed to Northern California as a theft hotspot. While store closures, limited hours and now the installation of gates and barriers represent some of the ways retailers are trying to get their arms around this problem, others have begun experimenting with more creative, higher-tech loss prevention solutions. Home Depot, for instance, has begun using a system that makes power tools useless for resale unless first activated via Bluetooth at checkout. SF Safeway adds barriers to deter shoplifting amid Bay Area retail theft debate. San Francisco cronied. Mob thefts rock retail. What can stores do? Retail Wire. Best Buy sees spike in shoplifting, pressuring profits. Axios. Home Depot turns off thieves. * power to use or sell stolen tools. Z. At Z/L/ZRE. Discussion questions. Do you see Safeway's introduction of barriers and other security measures as workable long-term solutions that will deter theft? Are there alternative solutions that would mitigate the types of mass thefts that have recently hit retail stores? Please practice the Retail Wire Golden Rule when submitting your comments.
Okay. Yeah, the first two or 3 page is like about why some stores are closing due to shoplifting, and some of them try to find a way to permit them, and that's the reasons they are doing that. Yeah, that's almost any things why they do that. And yeah, hey, I don't blame them.
The last time we checked, chains were big on keys to lock up high-margin goods. Brain rust. Lee Peterson Eve Thought Leadership, Marketing, WD Partners. 1 month 4 days ago. Wow, what a conundrum. You can see why the drug guys closed stores there. 2 things, although not the only things. 1. Increase staff presence on the floor and the lot, at least you could see when it's coming, and react by calling in the cavalry. And 2. Ramp up that BOPUS, man, as the worst part of these incursions is that customers don't want to be involved in anything like that, so offer them options. Certainly BOPUS is a good one. That aside, this could be the worst thing I've seen in 30 plus years of retail. Says a lot about the state of the nation. Brain rust. Paula Rosenblum, Managing Partner, RSR Research. 1 month 4 days ago. I somehow think that Safeway's products are not the target of these gangs. Can you imagine guys on the streets selling hot cans of peas? So I feel like it's kind of irrelevant. Scott Norris, Channel Development. Guest. Manager. 1 month 4 days ago. Baby formula, already in short supply with rising prices, easy to fence. Diapers, 2. Ahmed's, beauty supplies are light/small with high value. Brain rust. Neil Saunders, Managing Director, Global Data. 1 month 4 days ago. Safeway has a right to protect its merchandise and staff. However, the downside of this is that it creates a bad shopping environment for some honest customers. It's the same thing when stores lock up things like razor blades and baby formula, understandable, but somewhat inconvenient. And of course, this type of action would do nothing to prevent professional gangs, not that they're likely targeting Safeway. There needs to be much tougher policies on shoplifting from some of these cities and states which have become far too lenient over recent years. Brain rust. Kathy Hotka, Principal, Kathy Hotka and Associates. 1 month 4 days ago. San Francisco retailers have to take decisive action, and I doubt that these measures will deter legitimate shoppers. Brain rust. Ken Morris,
Yeah, the again the first and the next was to last two. They try to say is there should be a way to prevent shoplifters and not to give issue for other people who plan to buy it things, even though they trying to do things, but at the things they get to use are not prevent the shoplifters. Yeah, and now customers why this everything is up or what? I don't blame them.
I firmly believe that leveraging technology is a better answer than installing barriers and making a store into a fortress to keep people in. Unfortunately, some retailers now have to treat certain stores as war zones and take drastic measures like Safeway is doing. The majority, though, should be paying attention to advanced telecommunications technology like 5G, which will give us much higher and cheaper bandwidth and allow us to fulfill the promise of real-time retail and loss prevention. Video analytics solutions already exist to identify these thefts, and layers with prescriptive analytics can trigger a response in real time to local authorities and create case management solutions to prosecute these people. The technology exists to thwart this threat. We just need to allocate the funds.
So guys, headache. Take a
Funds and deploy. Also, RFID tags are replacing hard tags at soft goods retailers. For higher-priced items in grocery, like small appliances, this is viable as an additional layer of loss prevention. Brain rust. James Tenser, retail tech marketing strategist, Pipe B2B expert, storytelling trademark guru, Pipe president, VSN Media LLC. 1 month 4 days ago. I haven't heard yet of any flash mob looting of a grocery store, but I'm certain that common shoplifting is not rare in some neighborhoods.
Yeah, now they don't need just the flash mob. They're doing on shoplifting mob. I don't know how it works, but I don't know I don't know how people do this.
Neighborhoods. If Safeway has been losing money in certain stores due to theft, it can't be blamed for trying new tactics. There is some irony here, of course, that a retail business model predicated on self-service would need to be modified with gates, traffic barriers, cameras, etc. If those anti-theft measures create a feeling of security for shoppers, they will likely be well accepted. If the design of those measures creates a menacing atmosphere, some shoppers, likely the biggest spenders, will seek alternative locations. Brain rust. Dr. Stephen Needle, managing partner, Advanced Simulations. 1 month 4 days ago. I wonder how much in-store advertising they did to tell their shoppers the barriers were for their safety? That should make it less weird. N /J. Brain rust. Perry Kramer, managing partner, Retail Consulting Partners. 1 month 4 days ago. Safeway and all retailers will need to continue to adapt the physical store to protect its customers, employees, and bottom line. If the same changes were made in a rural location in the Midwest, we would not be talking about it. Unfortunately, these types of changes need to be made to deter theft and will soon become the norm in many areas. In the Home Depot example, someone will figure out how to defeat the Bluetooth security measure. However, for many retailers, the approach is to continue to add levels of deterrence as there is no single solution. David Spear, Senior Partner, Industry. Brain rust. Consulting, Retail, CPG and Hospitality, Teradata. 1 month 4 days ago. I hope our retailers can slam the door on shoplifting, but there are larger problems in society that contribute to this situation. Retailers need to implement smart measures with a blend of operations and technology to preempt these attacks. Home Depot's Bluetooth solution is innovative, but that won't work on high-end jewelry or designer bags. Implementing measures for Best Buy will be different than Safeway and will be different than Lowe's. In every case, however, smart minds from our public and private communities need to pull together to stop this lawlessness. Guest. Rondi Dandy. 1 month 4 days ago. No, there aren't mobs ransacking Safeways or Walgreens. Still, the goods shoplifted from these places do find their ways to illegal third parties, like sidewalk vendors, where these items can be sold at 100% profit. Also, thievery from these places constitute a proving ground, like a kid's school prepares a student for the big universities. Yes, it's the reality that so long as crimes of this nature are considered too small to properly punish, the perpetrators feel more and more emboldened to go on to those bigger ticket items. Which is precisely what has been happening here in San Francisco and all similarly governed cities. Consequently, yes. Brain rust. Brain rust. Brain trust. These.
Yeah, the last page, 2 page says, if you go to like Walmart, Lowe's, and Home Depot, they have their own way to prevent shoplifting, and because due to some legal issues, again, I'm not a lawyer or what, they said the time the and the money, cost of money going to court with this small stuff, small things, it is more than going after the big ones. But again, I don't know what it is, how to do this.
These convenience and grocery stores need to enact stronger measures to deter crime as best they can. However, it is incumbent upon the governing forces of the communities in which all these operations exist to actually punish crimes. Regardless of their severity, if you let the little bad things go by, they inevitably grow into these larger and harder to solve problems. No amount of gates or tags. Read more, Rich Kaiser Principal, Kaiser and Bender speaking. 1 month 4 days ago. Do I see Safeway's introduction of barriers and other security measures as workable long-term solutions? Not long-term. Someone gets in with a gun, they better hope people can escape the store. In a case of a fire, seems to me that it's better to have a very efficient system that would somehow allow customers out when a horrible act takes place. Steve Montgomery, President, B2B Solutions, LLC. 1 month 4 days ago. Safeway's actions may not deter all shoplifter theft, but they do make Safeway a less desirable place to target. Their actions may make customers feel safer. But the unfortunate fact is, the shoplifters are likely to find a softer target, so the problem doesn't go away, it just moves down the street. Kenneth Liu, retail and customer experience expert. 1 month 4 days ago. It depends on the location, and given the current situation in San Francisco, there isn't a choice if they want to maintain coverage in the area. The alternative is to close the store, which they are not willing to do. Right now, physical barriers and increased hands-on security is the only solution in the short term in the face of the organized shoplifting that is going on. Target in my area has most of the high theft items secured behind doors, toothpaste, laundry detergent, etc., and increased security personnel coverage. Until the police and prosecutor break up the organized crime rings, it is going to be in the norm for a while. Craig Zungstrom, CFO, Weissner Steel. Guest 1 month 4 days ago. Others interviewed said they do.
Yeah, the last page says, due to this shoplifting, there's more shortage of food, things that people need. Yeah, and hey, that means we've got to pay more to do those things. Okay.
They did not have concerns about the changes, saying they made things seem more organized and did not impede the shopping experience. That's the answer Safeway is hoping to hear. Whether, or really how often they do, we'll just have to see. The historical record isn't overly encouraging, at least here in the Bay Area. Decades ago, Safeway was an early and vigorous closer of inner-city stores, many of which became Walgreens. I don't see much potential in high-tech solutions. Tagging or activating a carrot just isn't practical. And finally, at the risk of seeming either naive or an apologist, I question linking together theft like this, which truly fits the definition of what's commonly understood as shoplifting, with the ZK brain rust. Guessed kind of brazen, organized robbery we've seen at higher-end retailers. It's hard to believe either the perpetrators, the motivation, or the solutions are the same. Ananda Chakravarti, retail thought leader. 1 month 4 days ago. Safeway is using a proven technique to deter theft, and it's just as strong as an Atlantic Daylight Time sign on a residential lawn. Thieves will prefer easier targets, but it reduces the issue for Safeway. The root cause still needs to be solved for and might be a bit more problematic, requiring more than just installing security barricades. Story Wanderer. 1 month 4 days ago. They have to do whatever they can. They already closed the store at 9 p.m., and they already have the entire drug/health and beauty aisle locked up. Also various other areas of the store are locked up. Also expect the plastic bag ban that San Francisco is so proud of is making it easier for thieves. Thieves can easily go in with reusable bags and blend with other shoppers using reusable bags. In the simplest loss prevention sense, when you are watching traffic going out the door, bagged merchandise equals paid merchandise. But when you have so many things going on with exiting customers involving reusable bags, some people using no bags, some customers paying the mandated $0.25 per bag super thick plastic bag fee in San Francisco, or in some cases a single individual using all three methods described above, you have a situation where simply observing whether product is bagged or not is no longer a viable loss prevention method to determine if product has been paid for or not. And it makes it much. Read more. Right angle quotes. Copyright 2022 read.
Okay, I forgot to read out all the address. Yeah, that things that we're going to go, but it's not working. Yeah, so people find a way to do shoplifting, and hey, that's life for you guys. See you guys.